Welcome to the West Coast Speakeasy, Vancouver Island's finest.
Welcome to the West Coast Speakeasy, everyone. Today I'm with Car- Pablo Cardenas, prominent jazz musician, composer, and piano player here in Victoria. He plays all over the city, from the Mint to the Coda, Bard and Banker, and I think everywhere in between, from what I understand. So thank you very much for coming, Pablo.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for the invitation.
No problem. Yeah, I very much appreciate it. I guess yeah, we could start just with your background and how you ended up in Victoria, and then we can kind of get into all the musical stuff.
Okay, yeah, I came in 2010 from Cuba.
Mm,
I studied in Havana. I was born in a small town, and I was from Havana, and then had to go very young to the National School of Arts, it's called, and did my classical degree. And I started I started at a smaller school in my hometown, and then spent most of the time Havana before coming to Canada. And so in Canada, it was all more like no musical reasons, I guess. It's like
mm,
I came to spend time with someone I was in a relationship with, and
okay.
but I didn't expect to meet so many musicians. So first, I felt that the island was too small for me. Coming from Havana
Hmm.
with all the music in there, and but I realized that there was something very interesting about Vancouver Island. I also spent some time in Vancouver, and so it was kind of a mixed feelings. My relationship wasn't working out that as I thought, so I spent a few years in the relationship. Then I was trying to decide what to do. If I was thinking moving to the east,
Mm,
but then I realized that um, maybe maybe I should wait and should see what's going on around here. And
hmm.
and I made such great people, so many great musicians, and here I am still.
Yeah. So was the relationships and the musicians that drew you to Victoria and Vancouver Island?
Yes, yes, like meeting great musicians and spending some time at places like Hermans Jazz Club,
Hmm.
where there was such a welcoming vibe, and I started doing shows in there so quickly. First going to the jazz jams,
Hmm.
and then I met the owner that was alive at the time, and he was so welcoming and so encouraging. And since my first show, I saw the response from the audience that they kind of wanted what I was bringing,
Hmm.
that fusion of styles. And so I realized there was a need in the area for more of what I was offering.
Hmm.
And then I started to think, oh, why not
Yeah.
to help develop more that niche over here, and the music scene in general.
Right, right. And so, do you think there's an advantage to being in Victoria as a musician at all in comparison to the bigger cities like Toronto or Montreal? Because that's kind of what I think about when I think about jazz.
Hmm.
But I could see though how there may be some advantages here in Victoria, smaller market, but maybe even more opportunities. Or what do you think about that?
Where I realized that with a place like Victoria or Vancouver Island, the element of being closer to people, like the fact that it's easier to see the same people again and again. So you
Right.
could see in the audience that people the same faces again,
Mm-hmm.
and that is, can be really inspiring because there's more communication with the people when there's more repetitions in the interaction, and that so you get to know the impact that you're making on people, like the you get to know like which songs are people liking, what kind of what parts of a show they like, um their opinions about
Mm-hmm.
many things. So that interaction is very interesting and it's very inspiring. So I feel that that's one of the things that made me um, like this type of setup. And yeah, I think there are some. I think from there's other benefits of when you're like studying, you're helping a community to develop.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to get a certain amount of people to attend to your events regularly,
Right.
so it could be harder to get to certain scale of attendance,
Mm-hmm.
but if you manage it well and you go from less to more, you get people's loyalty um, faster, and you feel you're making an impact. There is a lot of benefits, and there's other things that are challenging, but if you focus on that, it's so much better. And then you have to also be patient and be honest. If you want to put the work,
Mm-hmm.
you just put the work, and you have to be willing to wait.
Right.
Otherwise, you have to be like, okay, I don't want to put so much work, and then like do what I can, and then do it differently, but
Mm-hmm.
not be 100% focused on that because the results are gonna come like gradual.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so it sounds like there's a very tight knit community here then within jazz, do you think?
It's a very interesting community. Like it's hard to really know um, how strong it is.
Mm.
There is a lot of great musicians, but there is a there are different situations all the time. There is the great moments. There is like situations where like everyone gets together, but there is other times where like you feel that people are almost
Mm.
doing their thing and not communicating a lot.
Right.
So it's probably somewhere in between,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all about how you want to look at the
Right.
at the glass. We're gonna see half full,
Right.
half empty, that kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
thing. There.
Yeah, about I guess too with Latin jazz because that's
Mhm.
your influence there. You have the whole dancing component also that comes along with it. So because the percussion is kind of different than traditional jazz, you get people coming to dance, right? And so you have like a whole dance community that also builds around the music too, like salsa, things like that. So it feels to me like it's more social and there can be more of a community that builds around the music.
Yeah, there's an advantage from that because the jazz crowd, they I see that they define some of those events when because I also do more straight jazz events,
Right.
but they find the events that I put the Cuban element and the Latin jazz, Afro-Cuban jazz. They find it that it has an excitement. It has the an extra factor of like, oh, I could stand and dance, but I could listen as well.
Mm-hmm.
So then the jazz crowd, they also follow the events that I put for people to dance mainly
Mm-hmm.
and are not so heavy in musical content. but the jazz crowd, they know that I'm still gonna put a good amount of musical content that they don't mind to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they don't dance, they watch the band and watch others dancing.
Right.
And so there's a mix of the ones that want to dance with the ones that want to just listen and
So a
watch.
lot of crossover there then.
And then I had to kind of negotiate with venues because most venues or you sit or you just dance.
Right.
And then so I'm always pushing them to like create this hybrid
Mm-hmm.
uh, situation where I need a certain amount of dancing space
Yeah.
and a certain amount of seating capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So they are always kind of like figuring out, and I could see in the manager face were like,
They're a little
okay,
bit
well
confused.
now we're getting into this situation again. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
but I think we sorted out, and it was just simply and the crowd is important. They are very understanding, and the ones that want to just dance, they are mindful of the ones that wants to just sit, and it's a great community because I think the band projects that mindful mentality. Um, we try to make a show, even if we play music for dancing. We try to put a show that has a visual attraction and not just playing good music. We try to give people an experience. So we hire a dance instructor.
Mm.
We put dance performances in between
Right. So you're
sets.
combining other elements with it as well.
Yeah, to make it a whole experience.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to just like kind of switch that concept of like music performance alone and playing well, and it's not. I enjoy that, but I feel like I wanna get somewhere else with
Mm-hmm.
that.
Right. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. And are you organizing all that yourself essentially?
Yeah, yeah. I have some people that give me advice that help me with there's all these promo things
Mm-hmm.
that, but I had to learn a lot of it. I had a lot of help from um an ex partner I have that really taught me a lot
Mm-hmm.
about music business because she was also in the arts industry and fashion and all that, and I learned from her a lot of like the making posters,
All the promotion.
promotion, getting better at writing and all that. And I think that at some point I will need more help uh, to be able to focus more on being the artist.
Right. And not get spread so thin, having to
Yeah,
do all the little parts as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it can be stressful and
Oh, for
and
sure. Yeah.
and the artist I feel needs like space and mental space to
Mm-hmm.
to just flow, to let the mind go and find new things.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I feel that artists in this type of situations, that's one of the disadvantages of most cities is like you have to do. There's not an industry created, and
Right.
you have to take on so many tasks that then you feel exhausted when you actually have to perform. And
Right. And overwhelmed.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that emotionally can be quite heavy. Yeah.
Mm. So has that been the biggest challenge for you, you think, here? Like all the there's so many components you have to cover yourself, plus all the business end of it. Is that is that what's really challenging?
Yeah, there's the business, there is the putting things together in general. It's
Hmm.
like there is like managing the relationship with musicians, hiring musicians, deciding like communicating with venues. Venues, they have they are not. They have their own way of looking at things. It's like we have to survive. We have to figure it out. We have to pay the rent
Mm-hmm.
and etc. So sometimes there is a friction created there. So that's one of the heaviest parts for a band leader.
Mm-hmm.
Is like how to stay motivated, uh, even at moments when there are challenging situations like friction in the communication, disagreements with the costs, with the procedures, with so most of many musicians, I feel like they kind of give up in in trying to set up things the way they need or find a middle point. So I hear a lot about like, yeah, that's okay, don't worry about it, or or that's fine, it's fine, let's just play.
Right.
But then you feel hurt, and then when you're playing, you could be feeling that you're not at the situation you want to be, but have to do it,
Mm-hmm.
and then that is mentally very
Right.
heavy over time.
And you're compromising.
Exactly. At the
Right.
end, it's like that's actually end up being uh, more of a factor than the main challenge of like having earning enough money
Mm-hmm.
or getting enough people. That's one of the main things. But the way you have to do things and how stressful it can be
Mm-hmm.
is one of the main challenges. And I feel that musicians have to start like switching that mentality of like that I have to accept everything to have chances.
Right. Sort of like the starving artist mentality in a way.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's actually better to go through a bit of a struggle and accept the challenge of there's gonna be tension, there's gonna be
Mm-hmm.
friction with the venues, and from there they're gonna understand you better because in the tension they are getting to know how you feel and what you need.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't want to hear you, the the friction makes them having to hear you because you're gonna have to say what's happening, why you don't want to do a show, or why you don't want to, or what are the ways you want to do it, what are you willing to accept. And then so that challenge is like a battle that is healthy. And so I always encourage musicians, don't be afraid to, the doors aren't going to close if you do what you have to do.
Right. So you need to lean in. You need to lean into the conflict a little bit in a way.
Exactly, and not
Yeah.
not be afraid that you're gonna lose all your chances,
Right.
and to not to stay away from a
Mm-hmm.
paranoia, a feeling that paralyze you, and then you end up not only not speaking what you need, but also you end up like just being afraid to perform at all because
Right.
you don't know what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear about musicians that like, oh, I took a break for a year,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing's happening, but you just so burnt out
Right.
that
Yeah.
it's like I have to just stop performing for a whole year.
Right. Right. So it really sounds like you need to learn how to manage your emotions well and be assertive too.
Yeah, to be a musician, I think right now is a very emotional process. I think the arts in general is like that. If you are confident and you have control of your emotions, then you have a lot in your side. You have a lot of advantage because you're gonna be able to manage the tension and the stress,
Mm-hmm.
the stressful moment with control and with and the people that are gonna come and be harsh and try to block your progress or just to any of those situations, they'll become just part of the process
Mm-hmm.
and not big traumas.
Right.
So like a recovery, you have to have a quick. The big situation where you will go crazy, but
Yeah.
if you can recover from
Right.
that.
So you really need to learn how to push through and take it in stride in a way as part of the process, like you're saying. There's going to be constant setbacks, and it's just part of the trajectory that you're on, really part of the career,
Yeah,
if you can turn it into that. Yeah.
yeah, just know how to negotiate the situations with the audience to hear them, but to not try to please them
Mm,
all the time.
right.
You have to be yourself, but you have to know which things you need to in which areas of what they are speaking. Just to listen to them, just to find a way to communicate with the
Hmm.
audience, and then to know which parts of that communication you have to follow. Like, oh, I have to. The artist says that I my shows are uh, exciting at this situation and not so much at these other situations. So you have to know when it's just someone that is just giving an opinion that is not making a lot of sense
Right.
based on the context, or when it's somebody that really knows what they are saying because it's a regular to your shows,
Right.
knows you well,
Yeah.
and then you have to make sure you know, so then you don't get affected emotionally by every opinion.
Right.
And then with people that makes big decisions, same thing. You have to show you are in your side. In some ways, it's like if you have me, it's better for you.
Hmm.
Managers of venues and people that can invest on you.
Right.
But at the same time, you have to know where is the limit and make sure they know that okay, there is this part where I cannot get into this area. I cannot accept this deal. I cannot. And then, and then no matter what, eh, eh, then, and then be loyal to yourself because if you are doing it well and if you are putting the efforts, they're gonna try to help you because they need you.
Hmm.
The musician has to remember that the audience needs you, the venues need you,
There are no
and
venues without the
exactly,
musicians. Yeah.
it's like so everyone needs each other, and musicians have the tendency to feel that, oh, I'm so grateful of playing music. I'm so grateful of being an artist, having the gift, and they have the tendency to stay on that thought and forget that people are also grateful
Hmm.
that you are offering. Venues are grateful that you are bringing people.
Hmm.
So you have to and neither to think that okay, no, I'm the center, and that also is not good because then you lose perspective.
Hmm.
Then the audience feel when you're not being humble
Hmm.
and when you're just asking more for more than what you're giving.
Right.
There has to be a balance in that communication. And then when the audience see the balance, then I don't know, there's a magic and people keep coming and
Hmm.
you just feel the flow,
Right.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's really a lot more to it than I think a lot of people would realize, right? And that you're navigating a lot more different aspects, and you're almost being a manager, emotions, and all these relationships. And so it's like you really have to master a lot of different skills in order to be successful.
I feel that right now it's all about all the knowledge you have outside the music.
That's really going to help you.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because in the old times you could just be a great musician,
Hmm.
and then you just go around and play. There's always a manager say, okay, you need do you need food? Do you need this? And all you will do is play. But right now, it's like in many cases you have to be on top of what's happening, and in Vancouver Island, like you have to be a wise
Right.
human being to for your music to you could be a great player and then to not have a lot of doors opening for a while if you don't apply other principles like be social, be learn how to like express. You don't have to be a perfect like, speaker,
Hmm.
but to be able to articulate your thoughts and be in public and share your inputs, like go to a show and go and have a chat
Right.
with
And
the artist, and be in the public.
yeah, and to really get involved, be in the scene. Hmm.
Yeah, that's so important because that's what people like your music, and I don't know if this is a good thing or bad thing, but I feel like people like your music more if they like you as person,
Oh, for sure.
and
I
they
think
like
so.
you if
Yeah.
they see you,
Yeah.
and
Definitely.
if they know you, and if they know about you,
Yeah. Yeah.
and there's only one way to do it, is just it's just being in there.
It'd be visible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I think I'd like to talk just about a little bit about some things I heard you, the way you've described jazz, I guess. And
Hmm.
I've read that you really enjoy jazz as because it's creative live music. That's how you sort of I've read that
Hmm.
that's how you describe it. So can
Hmm.
you talk to me? And I guess what comes with that is the freedom of being able to improvise, and that you're not so much set in stone with what you're playing. So yeah, can you talk to me about your feeling
Hmm.
about the creative aspect of jazz?
Yeah, yeah. As a musician that went to the classical school, I always felt like why the music have to be learned note by note.
Right.
Yeah,
In such
like
a specific way.
yeah. Now I realized that that was a great thing to be able to read the music, memorize the music, and all that. But at the moment, because it was normal to read the music,
Hmm.
I felt that why I have to play everything that was written. So so I found out about chords and then I would just jam with my friends like, oh, this song in the radio.
Hmm.
But the teacher was always saying, oh, don't get contaminated. You have to, learn your pieces. Don't get too contaminated um, with any other type of music. Your technique will be. So then I waited, but I always had it in my mind. It's like something is going on. I feel that music is a lot more than that. So then as a teenager, in Havana, I started to meet like jazz musicians. I learned about what was jazz. I saw musicians coming from North America to jazz festivals, going to the school, doing workshops, and then I found out that improvisation was a big thing. So from there, it's like a switch in your mind. It's like it felt to me like with improvisation, music is how music actually becomes alive. And then so it's almost like you're creating by creating in the moment what's happening. Uh, it's like this is what happens every day in anything. It's like you 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 start your day, you have a pre-plan in your head, but you really don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So you start like figuring out. It's like, okay, I should do this, but I may have no time for this, for that. And then it's like this is what happens on when you are sitting on an instrument and expressing emotions and figuring out where to go. Just I got obsessed with improvisation. Then I realized that improvisation is it should be interpreted properly. So I started to feel like jazz players. So I was super into jazz at the beginning, and I learned all the chords, all
Hmm.
the the theory, all that. But then I started to feel that jazz players, there is a certain group inside jazz that was acting like my classical piano teachers. So there's
Right.
like there's this jazz patterns where like you play these chords in this way, and then you have to do it this way. You have to create this bluesy sound, and you have to do this, do that. And then even in Latin jazz, which is more of a broad sound to me, was more attractive. There's the percussion, there's all that. So I'm like, yeah, that's a lot better. I can mix more elements in there. And I realized that no, I want fusion. I don't want the bluesy sound always. I want it could be classical kind of sound with
Hmm.
Cuban percussion, could be a jazzy sound with classical or so. But then I realized that improvisation is a lot more than making a solo. So I started to realize that you could apply improvisation in a song that you have um, composed and learned in a certain way, but you are staying open to what happens when you're performing live. So there is improvisation at any type of music. Um, if the bass player is playing a line that is arranged in a certain way, okay, this is the concept, these are the notes. But when you're playing it live, you're changing things. So that is not a solo. The bass player is not soloing.
Hmm.
You are accompanying, but you're actually improvising over that line.
Right.
So now I think improvisation was this big thing where like I tried my band to not have like square structures. So some shows I just be like, okay, I'm not gonna make. I do this very often. I'm not gonna make intros to the songs. Just gonna start playing,
Mm.
and we're gonna somehow get into the verse, and then musicians go totally crazy. It's like,
Yeah.
but what you want me to do? It's like, exactly, that's the point.
Yeah.
Figure it out, because that's what jazz players at the beginning at the jams. That's what they do. They just start playing, and
Right.
I follow you, you follow me. It's like, but how are you gonna do that in a live show? That's not. People will notice that it's not planned. It's like, no, I think people could probably end up liking
Mm.
that they notice it's not planned. And so I'm trying to incorporate that concept where, like, even if it's not jazz, it's applying the improvisation in the music. And if you want to be accurate and you want to play clean, then you have to be good enough that to be your mind has to be awake and it has to be technically so well prepared that you in the spot are going to figure it out and play the right notes. That's what That's what jazz is for. It trains you to be unpredictable, but sound organized.
Right.
Yeah,
Unpredictable but sound organized.
yeah,
Yeah, that's great.
yeah. To just like creating the spot and to deal with the anxiety that you may not play the right note, but it's never gonna be too many wrong notes to the point that it will not sound professional. You just have to be prepared. You have to train that. You have to
Right.
train. You have to practice at home, playing whatever, improvising, jamming,
Mm.
and being in that situation of panicking a lot of time. And so I know it's not for everyone. I cannot just do this with
Yeah, right. So it
yeah.
depends on who you're playing with and
Yeah,
the musicians you have around you.
yeah, I push that side depending on
Right.
the situation I am,
Mm.
but I think most of the musicians can do it. Just because I know if it was me and I'm jumping into into a show and somebody that is giving me the music and tells me that, I know I will have a hard time. So I know it's easier for me because I know the music I'm gonna.
Right. You know which direction you want it to go.
So for me is I think I'm being unpredictable,
Mm.
but I know what I'm gonna do
Right.
more than the musicians.
More than they do. Yeah.
So it's not that when we do it, I look more confident, not because not because I have more capacity. It's because I plan it. I plan things in a certain way. So if another musician makes me do that, I will be panicking
Right.
the same way, and I will be trying to get as many hints as possible. Like, okay, but how would it possibly start? What would we possibly do at the coda? At that, because sometimes I tell them like, we'll figure out an intro and we figured out a coda and these songs.
Hmm.
We don't have a plan, and I think it would be cool that if we have a singer, the singer we will follow the singer to see how. So that's a way to make
Oh, okay.
singers to create and to show what they have.
Hmm.
It's like see whatever comes at the end, but try to
Hmm.
impress people, you know. So you cannot just end like if you're fading like in a recording. It's like how do I impress people depending on the sound, depending on the feel, the flow, depending if like the song I did before was a big one,
Right.
then I might not want to repeat that moment. So you have to be in the context of the show, always
Wow. Yeah.
the story in the show.
Hmm.
So that mindfulness and that being so awake, that's how I want to put on musicians and not come like it's all planned. And so that's what keeps the excitement going. It's like we're always coming up with something,
Hmm.
and even in what happens in the show, the same song never happens exactly the same. I might talk about something about the song, make the singer to say something when they don't expect to create a whole experience. But it all comes from that concept of improvisation.
Wow.
You know?
There's so much to it.
Yeah, yeah.
But when you've got, yeah, when it all works and when like everyone really is locked in together, what's I always wonder like what does that feel like when it works just the way you kind of want it to? It must be like a really amazing feeling.
It's great, but it also it's even better when you feel like what this moment just worked out in a way that it will not happen if you plan it.
Like in a way that you didn't expect.
But yeah, but in a way that you feel like if you plan it, would not have been possible, you know. but if that happens while you realize that someone in the audience notice it,
Hmm.
or tells you after the show or something like that moment, that was crazy. Like how was that? So people start to realize that this was probably a moment that they didn't plan, because they start to know you.
Hmm.
Like, I know these guys do this,
Right, right.
and then so they start asking you like, this song, that thing, was that plan?
Hmm.
So that's a great feel, because it means they are already considering that things are being spontaneous,
Right,
and they come for that. I realize that people come to see the rare moments. That's what makes them. That's what gives them something that makes them get out of their normal routine.
right.
It's like I saw something uh, different, and makes me. I was already in an emotional level, and it got me even higher.
Right.
They already liked the song, but on top of that, the song got them into this moment that they didn't expect. That's the magic of great musical moments. They it, music can do things that I don't know if other arts can do. Is that hype, that sensation that stays with you for many days.
Like like the therapeutic nature of it almost.
It's like you can't explain it. It's like, I hear things like people say like, this is, at Hermans, I've seen people like, I'm at a health situation, and I don't know if I can go to many shows again, and people saying things, heavy things like,
Hmm.
if I don't go to any shows again, seeing this show,
Yeah, right,
things like I don't even like at that moment, like I don't know if I'm crazy, like I
right.
don't know what
Surreal.
I'm.
It's
Yeah,
surreal.
it's
Yeah, yeah,
out of any. But you hear things like that, and that's the impact of music.
yeah. Wow.
Yeah,
It's 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 pretty amazing.
it's a therapy. It's a
It
therapy
is for
for the
sure.
for the musician, for the audience,
Yeah.
for. I feel like visual arts are like that too, like theaters like that. Uh, um, it's very direct. It goes straight to your brain and to
Mm-hmm.
your emotions,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone relay things the way they need. They have their own personal experience with the moment,
Yeah, right.
and yeah, it's great.
And as you said, it can really stay with you for like days and days afterwards. That feeling.
Yeah, it's a feeling, because it's a mix of what you interpret, of what you saw, what you hear, in your life context, but it also is that thing that you cannot explain. It's like there is like the emotions I felt, but it's these feelings that I don't know what they are, but it feels right. There's like this musical situation that really you cannot. It's not exactly happiness, sadness, or it's just like it's like a very intense and rich musical
Hmm.
moment that doesn't have explanation really. You know when it happens, because the feel is there when it repeats.
But there's no words for it.
There is no way to really know. Like, there is not really an emotion, because when you say, "Well, was this like a very happy moment?" It wasn't exactly happy, but it wasn't exactly sad neither.
Right.
It wasn't a nostalgia, or it was just this moment. It's like maybe it's everything together, and
Right.
then that's too heavy. It's like,
That
wow, it's
is
like the whole
heavy.
rainbow of
Yeah.
colors. All
Wow, that's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought about it like that.
yeah. Like
Wow.
in
Yeah.
jazz, this
Yeah.
is moments in a solo. Uh, But sometimes you plan it. Sometimes you're like, tonight I'm gonna try to make this special because it's a anniversary of a venue or
Hmm.
something, or and it could not be the night that the performer would pick like their best, and you
Right.
could be in your mind thinking this is gonna be I need to do,
Hmm.
but then you just played great, but you could end up feeling like, oh, I didn't find those moments that I was looking for.
Hmm.
And people be like, great, and may have, but you cannot really plan it or train for it. You just stay open, but they could happen at a jam at a party
Right. Could be anywhere really.
without being an
Hmm.
official event,
Hmm.
and then it just comes when they come, and you have to stay open. And
Hmm.
the more you you try to bring them,
Hmm.
the people get the benefits. And so as a musician, that's what it means. That's at the end, that's what you take,
Yeah. Right.
is that uh, therapeutic,
Hmm.
uh, and it feels, it all makes sense when you realize it's like, okay, well, if I don't get to have this much fame, this much money or whatever, it's like if you are in balance with that, not that you have to just get comfortable and do nothing,
Hmm.
but it gives you peace, because it's like if I'm giving something to people important, no matter how many they are, but then I'm not feeling that I invested
Hmm.
time of my life for these results that never happen.
Right.
Because that's the worst feel, when musicians are feeling like that, and then basically you're debating why you're doing it, why you're trying so
Hmm.
much. Like, I could just play at home
Right.
and it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that feel, I think, is that's the feel I try to avoid.
Yeah, wow. And you get, and when you get to share you have those moments, those really special moments you're talking about, kind of makes it all worth it, regardless of, like you said, whether you don't feel like you're making enough money or it's not quite going exactly the way you thought, but you get to share those moments with people and have that emotion come out.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because you have to make sure that you have the confidence is always at a high level, because there's gonna be the moments where you're gonna have people telling you, questioning your capacities in life. It's a typical thing with musicians. Like, you have a relationship, you know, if your partner is not a musician, they're gonna be very random questions, and you have to make sure that you don't take it so heavy, because that's why be the maturity, the
Hmm.
controlling your emotion, because it's not a person that's not a musician is gonna misinterpret many situations, gonna think that things are a lot easier.
Right.
Maybe gonna think that, well, you don't have to do much, you just sit down and move your finger,
Yeah, right.
and or you just doing things for nothing, because like you don't make money, we always stress out. What's the point here? I'm like, what are you doing? It's like, because you can see the impact on people and how important that. Then you're actually kind of giving away, maybe making more money doing something else. But people don't have to. Not everyone have to understand
No, not
that
at all.
for you, the impact you make on people's life is an asset.
For sure. Yeah.
And then someone can say like, "What do you mean? Like, you need to have a good life.
Hmm.
You have to you need to have a you know you have to live have a quality of living. look at what this is. This is the point in your life, and you don't have this, you don't have that. What are you gonna do? You're not playing. You're not getting famous. You're not in the media. You're what's going on? And then said you get so hurt with all those
Yeah.
comments,
Yeah.
and so then sometimes people just stop. I'm like, yeah, what am I doing? There's no point, and that's everyone, all musicians are gonna have those moments where like you actually question not to stop playing, but why to play, why to push so much.
Right.
I
Yeah.
could just go
Do something else. Yeah.
do both things,
Yeah.
like be like very laid back and not to worry. But that doesn't feel great neither. If you
Mm,
want to stop, you should like almost stop. But
right.
if you try doing a little bit,
Yeah, like you don't want to go halfway. Like either you got to really go for it or just have it as a hobby or something, you know?
if you do halfway, to do it, to stay practicing and to do it well, to do it like not to be like um just whatever, because it doesn't feel great. It actually feels like the music's taking time in your life,
Mm,
and then it's like, oh, you have this job, but then your weekends are busy
right.
when you're supposed to be
Yeah,
uh,
taking some time off.
taking time off, and
Yeah,
then you're playing,
right.
and then you working during the week, and then so you feel like you don't have a life.
Yeah,
And then but what I'm playing, the situations I'm playing are not giving me a lot of excitement,
right.
so you end up in this weird situation where like you
Mm-hmm.
don't have day off,
Yeah,
and you don't have that much more money by doing the
right.
the music you're doing.
Yeah,
So if you're doing halfway the music part have to be not put as the last,
yeah,
well, it
right.
has to have a certain level of
Mm-hmm.
priority.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there is a way, but there is certain occupations that allows you to do that. It could be a musician. I could be like, I don't know. I know musicians and programmers, musicians, tech people,
Right.
musicians. There is all kind of combinations,
Mm-hmm.
but there are certain combinations, uh, like heavy labor stuff with music. Certain things that
Very difficult.
I see musicians just exhausted, almost
Yeah.
dying when
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
and they
It's just too much.
because they feel like I'm just going to go and play, but it's like going to a party and just play. But not, you're actually carrying a heavy amp. You actually end up realizing that the ones partying are the people that are watching you, and you actually play.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not exactly the same as
Yeah,
partying.
yeah, right.
So yeah, so for me, it works just going the full thing,
Yeah.
and I understand all the other ways
Mm-hmm.
to
Yeah,
make
for
sense.
sure. Yeah, yeah. Mm. Yeah, and so on a little different note there, I was sort of curious about your influences, and I'm wondering about whether you ever had a non-musical experience in your life that really changed how you play or how you approached your music. Like, has there ever been something that happened to you where you're just, like, wow, I never thought of that, and then, but not necessarily at a concert or
Hmm.
anything, but just in a way non-musical, and then that affected how you played afterwards.
Yeah, good question. That's a great question. I think in some ways, all the experiences influence the
Mm,
way a musician plays, but there are some that 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 definitely impact. Like, for example, like being from Cuba, uh, the the context of someone, a musician from Cuba, is like there is this like combination of living intensely but always managing struggles.
mm,
So I feel that independently of like the musical education in Cuba, the richness in the different influences and the traditional folkloric music. There is a heavy impact on musicians from Cuba, almost finding escape in the music to express a lot of struggles that they live.
Right.
So it's almost like I imagine a musician trying to practice something very difficult and not knowing that they are actually almost letting go a lot of emotions in that trying, and in that help you
Right.
try
Right.
harder because your life is hard.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like my life is hard. It's normal that learn an instrument. It's normal to be hard, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it well
Mm-hmm.
because you're used to just take on challenges. And so I feel that the way I my life was in Cuba and all the emotional heaviness of living with so much struggle with like to it's a very complex life because you feel there is a lot of support from everyone around you and family value, etc. But a there is a life situation where like the structure of the country is not working.
Mm-hmm.
There is a government that have not have did not do the right things for life to be set up properly,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
there's so many challenges. And then the the um, the typical thought on a Cuban person is like all my chances are everywhere I look, every door I try to knock is closed.
Mm-hmm.
How do I figure it out?
Right.
I have to actually I have to do something extra, I have to do something supernatural
Right.
to get to where I need to. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel that makes an impact on the musician when it's like, okay, so playing an instrument is hard, but it shouldn't be seen like that. But in your mind, it's like, this is gonna be hard. The teachers are telling you this is gonna be so hard. You have to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a dramatic situation that make you better musician. So I would not choose
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
If I had to choose it, like I would not choose. But in some ways, it's how it happens.
Right.
At the end, it works as an advantage, because people could say, "Oh, well, that's too bad. Sorry about that."
Mm-hmm.
But the way I see it now, because I'm not there anymore,
Yeah.
the way I see it now is like, yeah, I had the advantage
Right. All
of
those experiences
of having
shaped how you play now and shaped the way your music developed.
that the challenge it worked in my advantage.
Right.
So yeah, many emotional situations that make an impact on the passion I put in the playing
Mm-hmm.
are related to the struggles in Cuba and being in Canada. I think it's same. The struggles, many situations where I felt like I don't know if I want to be taking music so seriously because it's so hard. And after pandemic, it became hard everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and so then just feeling so down in so many moments, um, to the point of not wanting to even think about music. Like if I had to play, it's because somebody hired me, and I say I had to do it and I had to commit.
Right.
But not thinking I'm going to enjoy it. And I'm going and I'm going to play and
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get in the flow because I know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going because I enjoy playing music or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So you get in that bubble,
Yeah.
and then slowly you gradually like
Mm-hmm.
start getting out of it, and then like,
Hmm.
oh, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
You realize that you was at a very low moment, and you could not say consciently, I'm going through this, because you're in a limbo.
Right.
But when you get out and you look at it, when you go back to playing with a different feel, I feel that every time you go in those moments and go back, I feel that you appreciate more playing, because you're like, I could not have this option.
Hmm.
When you realize, when you go back and see like 10 minutes and see the how it changes your day, how it,
Right.
and then playing a show with 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 the feel that you're back to yourself, and you realize, how was I thinking that this wasn't worth it, or
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
and you hear people telling, like, especially the pandemic, you go for so long on the
Yeah. Without being able
uh-huh.
to
and,
play live. Yeah.
and then you go back, and then so yeah, we could say that the pandemic had an impact on, basically,
Yeah. Huge. Yeah.
to many musicians. I feel that it it like almost like brought up the excitement of, or the perception about how important is
Hmm.
being a musician to society.
Yeah.
When you saw everyone saying, I need to see live music, like
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
live stream is not the same, although they was so they appreciate it so much. It's like,
Hmm.
oh, this is great. We did all those live streams at Hermans,
Yeah.
and I see people. So, but I could see so many people. It's like, I can't wait to actually be live. And when you saw the first few shows that uh, when they back with the mask and all that,
Yeah.
then I know, so for many musicians, they are not the same people. They're not the same musicians. Like, it made a big impact in their playing. It's like they are like enjoying every moment more. And at least for me, I feel like that. It's like, so same. Like, there's many situations. They're like situations when, like, there are a couple of relationship breakups that have made me very emotional when I uh, certain moments when I'm playing. So, uh, um, but those are more like, I don't know. I feel like those are uh, more like you creating the feel. It's not that it's
Mm.
not real.
Hmm.
It's more like your insecurities talking through the music.
Right.
But I feel like the big events, like things that are related to your life, how you grew up, or
All have an influence.
things like that,
Hmm.
they have the biggest influence.
Right.
You know.
Wow. And I imagine with the pandemic too, it's almost like maybe it crushed some musicians, but the ones that it didn't, now they're more excited even like coming out of it. I could see, and
Yeah, there's
appreciative that they get, to be back at it and they get to do this and all and then the social aspect of it and
I
that.
think it made many musicians to appreciate more music.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, the ones that wasn't sure if they wanted to play, they confirm it, like, I don't want to.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. I
Right,
don't want to.
exactly. Like it crushed them.
They
Yeah,
help
yeah.
them just
That was it. Yeah,
define that, and
yeah,
which
yeah.
is not necessarily a bad thing.
Hmm.
I always tell students, like, you don't have to, be a musician because anyone says that, or because I
Hmm.
say it, or because, and like, I'm like, if you do it, do it the best way you can.
Hmm.
And and can explain you why it's great and the benefits. I never told students, like in my classes, I try to not talk about mistakes, or
Hmm.
and it could be tricky because sometimes it's like, okay, this is the one day we have to talk about a lot of things,
Yeah.
but I try to talk about, what keeps you excited, what's the impact of music, why something is better to improve because of what's gonna give you, but not because you're doing it wrong.
Hmm.
Because I had a my education system was all about pointing something wrong,
Right.
and it was I did it by miracle. Like I I really don't know how I did it,
Yeah.
because every time I felt like I'm gonna go to this class and I'm gonna receive a million
Criticisms.
criticism,
Yeah.
and some the classes. Uh, in a big part of it, the piano classes with my last teacher was with all the students in the class. We had to all be there and hear what he would tell the other. So all the other students was hearing what is being told to me, and
Hmm.
then I hear what. So that is one of those elements that really brought so much stress,
Hmm.
and I felt that I mean, I appreciate the educational system in Cuba. Didn't have to pay for it and all that,
Right.
but the procedure, the methodology was not what I felt uh, was for me. And so when I became a teacher, I tried to do the exact opposite.
Right.
It's like, and I saw the results. Students that was feeling, oh, I don't want to, I don't want it, I'm not good. I'm like,
Hmm.
and by just not saying, but just not talking about how good you are, how
Hmm.
bad you are,
Hmm.
it just simply like, it's an experience that we
Right.
are. And then it's like, when I saw that the student didn't see me as a judge, or a not even as a teacher anymore. It was like,
Right.
I'm coming here and I'm having fun. I know I have to improve.
Yeah.
I know I don't want to make this person waste your time. I know my parents are paying, or I'm paying for this, but the point is that I'm enjoying. So then the improvements in
Come.
your talent
Yeah.
then takes over,
Right.
and makes the impact.
Yeah.
So for me, so for me, that's also one of the experiences that changed music. Is like,
Hmm.
in a band, that's how it is. It's like, from the moment you start telling people, yeah, but you're playing, you have to fix this, you have to, like, everybody knows,
Hmm.
kind of know what they have to fix.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
If we start talking about that, like, the mind is so sensitive.
Yeah. Hmm.
We start talking about, like, well, but if you do like this, and like, no, this is what we need to do. We're
Hmm.
trying this.
Yeah.
But then let's just try it. Let's just try it, and then let's just fix it, but without focusing in what's wrong.
Hmm.
If you hire somebody, and it means that you already know them
Hmm.
at some point, and you know what they can do. And but with music lessons, it's like, the students is like, eh, the learning is a lot about enjoying, I feel. So I always wanted to switch the way I learn, you know, and apply it like the way I feel I wanted to learn, but
But you
but,
weren't able to.
but I wasn't able to.
Yeah.
And seeing the results is one of those things. How it makes magic. It's like, people appreciate so much to not be told you cannot do.
Right. It's like you've set them free creatively in a way.
Exactly, because
Hmm.
like, being doing something with someone watching it's a big deal.
It is, yeah.
Someone that knows more about it.
Yeah.
So then any single word that comes out of that person, you know, sometimes I try to not even say too many great things
Hmm.
because it's anti-natural. It's like, oh, you're saying that to make me feel good.
Right,
So I'm
right,
probably not that good
yeah.
because so yeah, it's like it's a lot of impact. It's like
Hmm.
you just like it's a natural process. You don't have
Yeah.
to give bigger compliments or just simply like. And then when I felt that a student was ready to perform live, it's like,
Hmm.
okay, well, find get a repertoire,
Yeah.
try to find a setup where you can play or can give you connections.
Hmm.
And they're like, what? Like, how I'm gonna do that? I cannot play
Hmm.
in public. It's like, yeah, I think so. I
Hmm.
think so. And then, but then I stopped talking about it and make them go back to that
Right.
thought.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's not like nobody's pushing you, right?
Yeah.
It's like it has to come from you.
Right. It's a fine balance. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like yeah, again, music and psychology. This is what this is. It's all about that. When I read the biographies, uh, I see like I learn so much.
Hmm.
All the things that I don't want to do, that stop a lot of great musicians from playing more.
Hmm.
Although doing certain mistakes make them better as musicians sometimes,
Hmm.
but there's many situations where like especially musicians that got in they got like into obsessions with things, into like um habits that harm their life,
Hmm.
their health, all the different things that I'm like, it's like why this person didn't think about the gift they had at the moment,
Right.
and
Yeah.
that like they don't need much more,
Hmm.
and the music's supposed to give you, you know.
Yeah.
But then it's like, yeah, it's different times. All the knowledge we have now,
Hmm.
many of those musicians will be saying the same.
Right.
It's like if they look at themselves, it's like, what was I thinking? I don't need that. It's like, yeah, but you live in 1920s or the
Right.
18th century.
Yeah.
You don't have the amount of information we have now, and so now we are so lucky to have like such. We have all the information available. We can like break down things and
Hmm.
be like, oh, not this, not this, this.
Yeah. Right.
And as a musician, that's so great because you learn from all the what you can call mistakes
Hmm.
that are like, and then it's amazing to know like a lot of musicians uh, had difficult situations in their life because of relationships, and when you think about it, it's like you just focus on playing. That's
Hmm.
what people tell me, just focus on playing and forget about this.
Right.
Apparently it's not that easy.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, but I'm gonna try to not, because you read so many crazy things like Bill Evans, like a lot of piano players, like
Hmm.
Chopin, from like like situations where like dramatic to the point where like how you could be a genius and then not be a genius in
Yeah. There's the other
in this
side.
situation.
Yeah.
It's like, just be a genius, but when you are
Well, maybe the line between the genius and the madman is pretty thin.
yeah, it's like,
Possibly, you know. Yeah.
so sometimes I'm like, I want to be a normal person
Yeah.
and not have any special capacity.
Yeah. Right.
So then I don't have any random
Yeah.
extreme
Yeah. You don't want to like cut your ear off or something and send it to your
yeah,
ex girlfriend or whatever.
just be a normal
Yeah.
person, and then yeah, that's it. Like this thing about the genius is like it's very, just by saying the word, it's just give me all these I don't know, these random thoughts about like,
Thoughts? Yeah.
oh, that the, the genius that die younger,
Right.
that
Yeah.
have like the worst luck on certain things for
Mm-hmm.
random reasons,
Mm-hmm.
and and are always like, uh, I don't know, are always like depressed.
Right.
So I'm like, no,
Yeah.
if it cannot be the genius normal life
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
this is just good. It's just better just to be like, I'm a hard worker.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Wow. And so I know tomorrow you've got a show coming up, right, at the Mint. Tribute. It's a tribute to Celia Cruz,
Hmm.
and I'm just wondering, yeah, about her. How come you chose to do the tribute for her, or to her, really?
Celia Cruz, because Celia Cruz, well, she has a very incredible selection of songs. Like she, apart from being, the great singer,
Mm-hmm.
incredible musicians, like she was like at the time there wasn't a lot of women that had the chance to sing the Cuban popular music, traditional Cuban music, um, to show the skills. It was all men. It was like so,
And was this in the 1950s ish? Was it?
yeah, or even before that,
Right.
40, 50.
Mm-hmm.
So 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 in like everything, like many things in life, like traditional Cuban music was like all men singing about women,
Right.
and so it was the stereotype.
Mm-hmm.
So she was one of the first women that like came out and became actually famous. Like people wanted to hear
Mm-hmm.
Celia Cruz everywhere, and then so she was like already breaking so many patterns.
Boundaries.
Yeah, all those situations, and then she didn't want to stay in Cuba at the time. She saw some limitations, and she wanted to be international,
Right.
and so then she had ideas, political ideas that
Mm-hmm.
wasn't popular at the
Mm-hmm.
moment. So she went to Mexico, became a big deal in Mexico. Then she went to um, the States, and so um, so she has the music. The music was incredible. Her singing is beautiful. But then the fact that she kept her opinion, she never like shut up. She was
Right.
always like, "This is my opinion. This is what I think." At the moment where like no one will everyone was afraid of having political problems to come back to Cuba, all the situation with
Mm.
the social system, with the
Right.
political system. So at the end, she wasn't allowed to come back
Mm-hmm.
to Cuba. And so in those situations, what you have to do is you have to make a big statement and say sorry, and say no, I don't think this way. I have to,
Right.
I have to, you have to kind of redeem yourself and all that.
Yeah.
And she didn't.
Right.
So she wasn't able to see her family in Cuba anymore.
Wow.
She stayed alone with, and so she had her husband with her when they left, and she kept going. And it's like, okay, well, my family will be proud of what I'm doing. And this is, it sounds like it's so easy to just say this is it's a quick thing, but this is a lot of, this is your life
Yeah.
that is just. So she became one of the stars of a big project called La Fania All Stars, which all the best artists from the salsa world
Mm-hmm.
in this big uh, all stars band, and again was the only women.
Mm-hmm.
So in there was the same. It's like they wanted to almost kind of have her like just filling in,
Right.
just like, oh, you do the chorus, whatever, and she became one of the principals by pushing, by like, no, I want to sing songs
Mm-hmm.
in the band. I want to be,
Mm-hmm.
principal of the shows. And so then there's all these shows and all these videos about her when she actually became uh, internationally, when they did the big stadiums in all over the world. And then she went on her own and kept doing it, breaking records of like attendance, like even like Michael Jackson kind of thing, like,
Right.
but with salsa.
Yeah.
And with salsa, being from Cuba, singing, because the salsa was taken, the concept of salsa was a modified Cuban, traditional Cuban music,
Mm-hmm.
made more commercial, and and then it was almost like taken by Puerto Ricans, brought to New York, and given all these
Mm-hmm.
different kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But Celia was trying to remind people by being in that band, trying to remind people that salsa is just Cuban music,
Mm-hmm.
and salsa was just like a name somebody came up with,
Mm-hmm.
but she would put the Cuban flavor to keep putting the Cuban flavor to that band, and and so there's so many things. It's like a group of things that she. Uh, it seems like, oh wow, she got famous, then went to the Fania, then went to this, and then won the Grammys, and but it was all like a lot of obstacles. When you actually find out, it's like it wasn't just something that just happened. She had to push and push all the time, and then in the last, who knows how many years on her life, she was performing while having cancer.
Wow.
And many people found out like when she died. Many people didn't know she had cancer, and she kept singing until there's that big tribute where like she sang a little bit on the tribute, and she she died a month after that.
Right. Wow.
So she didn't stop singing. She didn't stop. But you don't remember her seeing an interview of her like down or crying and like, oh, I could
Mm-hmm.
never go back to Cuba.
Right.
I never saw my parents anymore. All you hear was like uplifting. So it's a person that you think about her and it lifts you up
Yeah.
right away just by thinking of. It's like if she did that way, anyone can
Mm-hmm.
have that attitude in life. It's that.
Right.
So then the songs, I think that they project that. I think that they have so much energy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she wasn't one of those composers that did a lot of songs. She was also a composer, but mainly she was singing music that a great composer would give her, and they will do the teamwork. But in music, there is the two ways of composing. You can be the composer, like you created the melody of the song, but it could be the interpreter, where composer give you the song, but then like, okay, well, make it your own.
Mm-hmm.
So when in the royalties, it doesn't say the the person who sang this song actually created
Yeah.
almost half of the song,
Right.
because the you didn't create the main melody, but you created so many other things that are as important as
Mm-hmm.
creating the melody of the song.
Right.
But that's not commented a lot in the music world, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
So Celia made many of those songs that the composers gave her. She made her own, and she put that live on it.
Right.
So I can imagine that in the arrangements and in how the music came out, she was being part of the production,
Right.
because when you are so strong and have such a great personality, and I know that singers are in the studio and they're like, can we do this way? Can we this sound, the tempo is too slow? Let's make it,
Right.
making decisions in the, and I feel that her personality is showing in the energy that the songs have. It's like I notice a lot of great Latin artists and salsa artists, and
But she
you
sounds very
feel the
special though.
you feel the energy in how she sings the song, how the song like grab you right away, and the way she sing it. She was also a great improviser.
Mm.
So the salsa music, you have to be able to come out with things in between the chorus when the song, the verse pass, and then there's the chorus, and you have to come out with uh, you plan some things, but
Hmm.
then the song gets longer and people wants to keep it going. You cannot just stop.
Right.
Sometimes you have to keep the song, and the song could end up 10 minutes,
Right.
and then you have the singer has to keep going
Hmm.
and have to sing and say different things in the lyrics. So you have to improvise. It's like scatting in jazz, but with words.
Hmm.
You have to improvise the lyrics, and you have to improvise the melody.
Right.
So she was great at that. She was a great improviser. And in the salsa world, men are like, no, we are the only ones that can do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It was a big thing when like, oh,
Yeah.
Celia can do that.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of sides
Oh,
to,
yeah.
and I also feel that in Victoria, there's is something that I haven't heard about that happening even in Canada. And I always wonder why it's like there wasn't more attention to. I know people know some songs, the
Right.
Carnival, all that, but not like a whole tribute.
Right.
I felt that that never happened, and I felt uh, that it was important that something like that becomes established. Like same with like the Buena Vista tributes. Like I always felt like there's a lot of Cuban musicians in Canada, and I couldn't understand why there wasn't, because you look Buena Vista tributes and it's all over the world. There's like an Australian band that's Buena
Right.
Vista tributes.
Right. And
Sometimes
that's
they
all
are
they
not
do.
even Cubans at
Yeah.
all,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
and everywhere because it became
Yeah. Right.
it's like if you're doing, I don't know, any other band tribute, Beatles tribute.
Wow. Yeah.
So same with Buena Vista here. I wanted to do that with Celia, and it's difficult because we are in an area where like a lot of people like to dance Latin music, salsa, but they don't have the habit to consume events
Right.
with that music regularly.
Right. Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's a whole different
Yeah.
story.
That's a whole
They're
different
like, "Oh,
story. A
this
whole
is
different
great." They're
challenge.
like,
Yeah.
"Okay, well, I'm gonna do, we're gonna play salsa at this place every week." Okay, okay, I'll see when.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's a whole different thing. So
Hmm.
so I had to find a way to like make it attractive, like.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I invite the four girls. I get the four girls to sing, and it's not easy. It's always a challenge to
For
get those
sure.
shows.
Yeah.
I'm glad that people. I mean, this is the third time when we're doing it, and I'm glad that people enjoy, because um I feel it's still like a new niche for me. Like my more like my signature show is what I call Club Havana,
Hmm.
where I mix all the Cuban. It's a collage of
Right.
all Cuban different styles, and where I put Celia Cruz, I put whatever else.
Hmm.
Go from the most like older songs and more aggressive songs, and make it a show too. I try to make it like an experience with the dancing, with everything.
Right.
So
Wow. Yeah. It's a really good idea for sure, I think. And it's like you said, it's challenging, and you need to kind of find an interesting and new way to package things together and to get to keep that interest like consistently, right?
it's a challenge, but it's great too. It's like
Yeah. No.
it's because like it's so difficult here to really we the artists we are competing for an amount of people that are it's not that big. Like
Mm-hmm.
the people that attend to shows.
Yeah.
Even you see festivals, I see like Ska Fest, the Fernwood. You see them making so much efforts for promoting, like doing word of mouth, doing the poster, and sometimes I think, like, why they even bother? Like, s- everybody's gonna go.
Right.
But then I talked to Dane the other day. It's like, why are you so worried about posters? It's like we have to do everything,
Right.
everything. There's
Every
so
angle.
many festivals, and five more people makes a difference.
Right.
We have to make sure we don't lose.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even care about making money.
Yeah.
I just try to, like, it's like almost like a mission. It's like to not lose. It's like if we make $1,
Mm-hmm.
so then we did it.
Yeah. Right.
So it's not that straightforward that they're gonna make big profits.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, you see all these people? It's like, yeah, but no, they need, like, actually they need it full
Yeah.
to cover all the cost of bringing the bands.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if you see like 60%, 70%, that's not enough.
It's not enough. Yeah.
And when I realized that, I was like, in some ways, it's like, wow, okay, so it makes sense for me to struggle
Yeah.
if like established festival
Struggles as well. Yeah.
struggles with
Yeah.
that. And so that's gonna change. The I think that a combination of keep bringing quality.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people need quality
Absolutely. Yeah.
to invest their time, but also the volume of people will increase.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a natural process that no one can rush.
Right. Of course.
And I know this a lot of musicians don't like to hear that. They're like,
Right.
"Oh wow!" So like, well, you can go somewhere
Mm-hmm.
else, and then realize there's not that much better.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, but you cannot rush that process, is you have to like what you do into the point that you are happy with the speed things are going,
Mm-hmm.
and you are in peace with that and balance with that. If you go crazy, why things are not why not getting better, why, like,
Yeah.
you can't do it.
Yeah.
You
No,
have
for
to
sure.
be patient and enjoy the process with all the ups and downs, but enjoy the process,
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
support all the festivals, support all the musicians and all the arts.
Mm-hmm.
The other day I went to see this place, the new guys, Johnson Street,
Okay. Yeah.
and I'm like, that was supposed to be the Chinese Chinese mark. I was thinking, what happened in there?
Yeah.
And I came in, and then I saw some of the people that I used to work with at VEC.
Mm.
And I'm like, what is this? It's like, come in, it's a new place.
Yeah.
We was actually looking, thinking of of getting in touch because um, we're just getting it like
Yeah.
set up, but they're doing shows already, and there's always new things happening. They do all kind of things there. It's like, I mean, it's like it's hard for me to picture, like, that place is like was a different place, but people after a year end up getting used
Mm-hmm.
to going, and
And accepting it. Yeah.
it's just marketed in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to support, even if I don't put shows somewhere, maybe, but I like to go by and support shows, all kind of music, all kind of arts. Tonight I'm gonna see the Pedro show, um, and I think that it's not that you have to do it with a purpose,
Yeah,
but that comes back to you, like the supports. Like people like a lot, like artists that support other artists.
absolutely, for sure.
They find like something important, and like for example, you don't see a lot of people sharing other people's show, and
Right.
I think that that shouldn't be like that, right?
Hmm.
Like, well, if people don't see my event, barely see my event, and then I'm gonna show, like, why not like a festival or something that you consider very important, that you really connect with it.
Hmm.
Um, so I think that increasing mutual support
Hmm.
will help on the
Yeah.
attendance volume,
Yeah.
because we're all waiting for that. That's
Right.
the big moment where
Yeah.
like where like you don't have to put a lot of money
Hmm.
on promo ads
Yeah.
and people go.
Right.
But it will happen. It will
Yeah.
happen, and I don't think it will be that much longer.
Yeah.
It could be in 5 more years.
Right.
Mm.
But things are really shaping up in Victoria. Is what it sounds like for you, that you sort of think the arts and music are on the up and up, which we spoke about that earlier, and that's positive and that's great, and that's kind of all we can all hope for, I guess, right?
I think when you look at the ups and downs, when there's these down moments, it's like random situation. But then when you see what happens, like at VC, there's Encore. They are putting some live shows too. The Kodak. When you see like when things go up, it feels like they go up higher than when it goes down.
Right.
It
Yeah.
feels like you could see the steps. It's like they are not huge,
Hmm.
but it's normal for it to not be.
Hmm.
But at the end, I don't see like this catastrophic
Yeah.
way. I know people that I understand why they see it like that.
Hmm.
Why they like, because they have a personal experience with being unlucky with venues,
Right.
and maybe they did the right thing a lot of times and didn't work. And but in general, I feel like there's a new group of musicians in like the younger generation getting together, creating all these new things
Hmm.
that are very excited and are not coming with a lot of resentment
Right.
for their experiences.
Hmm.
They come with this fresh mentality.
Hmm.
They already know they have to do money in the side, and they're already like mentalized with all the right
Right.
dots,
Yeah.
and they are influencing the ones that are more like a bit tired. And
Right.
so that I like that.
Hmm.
Like, I met so many of them at like in the events when there's DJs, sometimes musicians goes and they
Yeah.
talk. And I'm like, no, this is not what was happening 10 years ago. I see all these new musicians, many of them, like I saw them at the conservatory when I was teaching there.
Yeah.
And now they they have their own bands.
Right. Yeah.
They are creating movements, and all these things that are like, it's like I don't see that I don't see that many more venues. Uh, Sometimes I feel there was more venues before,
Hmm.
and there was sometimes I feel also that maybe there was time that I saw more people coming out, but at the same time, I'm like, things are how they are after a pandemic.
Hmm.
So I'm like, yeah, there could be less venues because there's higher costs or whatever, but I see a lot more musicians with desire doing something new.
Hmm.
And when you go to Fernwood, you see like it's like there's not. I don't see like a catastrophic
Oh no.
situation.
Yeah.
I see a lot of growth and a lot of so I as long as there is growth
Hmm.
and there's no reason to feel discouraged.
Hmm.
But it's a personal thing. Who wants to stay encouraged will try no matter what, even
Yeah.
if there was like no venues. You will hire like
Yeah.
a hall somewhere
Yeah.
and decorate it and make it your own. Like
Yeah.
if you want to do it, you do it
Right.
at all situations.
Hmm.
Right? But on top of that, I feel that there are reasons to feel excited about where the silence going, where like BC. I see in Vancouver some improvements, uh, more Latin bands,
Hmm.
more Frankie's Jazz Club.
Yeah.
Feels like it's steady. Hermans is gonna reopen with a
Right.
renovation.
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's very hopeful, and yeah, to me it sounds like you've got a very hopeful outlook, and I think it's probably a good place for us to sort of wrap up a little bit. It's yeah, no, it sounds very positive. But if people want to check you out or find out more about you, where should they look? Where should they go?
Mostly on my Instagram is Pablo Cardenas
Hmm.
one, and some yeah, mostly I also use Facebook because I know the youngest don't want to to do Facebook, but there's a big part of the population
That does, yeah. Facebook's for
that
us,
likes
the old timers, right?
likes
Yeah,
Facebook,
yeah,
and um I'm I'm gonna go back to um put more updates on my website,
yeah.
but from now it will look like will look like Stockholm time.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, people could check. I'm gonna start like it's like I'm making a whole cleanup of my content
Oh, yeah,
and
great.
recordings and everything
Hmm.
and YouTube and all that. So right now, Instagram will be more the
That's the
way to
place.
update, and then the rest gradually I'll start to
Yeah.
put all the new content. Because I'm like in a big mission where like it's not only related to Canada.
Hmm.
Canada is a great place, and
Yeah.
but obviously I tell musicians like obviously Canada is to give you this platform where like quality of life,
Hmm.
the music is improving gradually. It's not a place that it's not the place where like many people don't say, well, this is the center or cultural center of the world. This is not. But as musicians, you don't have to let that discourage you, or it's actually a you can look at it as a great challenge.
Hmm.
But you're living in a safe, in a very clean, safe and place, and then it's a great place um, to launch your international career, um, to um, to stay constantly connected with the world,
Hmm.
to everywhere. And for me, like tell musicians, like, yeah, you you focusing on the challenge that is being a musician here, and that's great. But don't forget that there's a bigger challenge.
Hmm.
That if you stay on this challenge, that challenge will not let you
Right.
look at the other one, and you have to start it
Hmm.
sooner than later, which is like connect with the world, and then you're an artist for the world.
Hmm.
So I'm kind of keeping going the mission of Victoria, of Canada, or of that, but at the same time, uh, keep developing
Hmm.
the the brand to the
Yeah.
world,
Yeah. Yeah.
bringing the Cuban music. I have the Cuban music, then I have the fusion,
Right.
which is jazz and all that, and then it's all that at the same time.
Hmm.
So when that happens, uh, it's slower. The results can be slower because I feel like I'm trying to be not so quick, but being actually ambitious, which is like doing steps that are like let's
Well
say that
thought out.
steady,
Yeah, consistent.
consistent steps,
Mm-hmm.
and going and thinking big. It's like growing a community here, but being being connected to the all the stages in the world
Mm-hmm.
in the niche of the independent music,
Right.
alternative,
Mm-hmm.
and independent artists. So I'm trying to do it all at the same time. I don't see why it couldn't be
Right.
possible, right?
Wow.
So from now, if people don't see much more than Instagram and Facebook,
That's all good, right?
it will happen. There'll be Spotify, there'll be more of
Yeah.
YouTube. But I'm just trying to be patient and do it with the right steps.
Mm-hmm.
So
Amazing.
and yeah, I want to thank you for
Yeah,
for
thank
the
you too,
invitation.
man. That was I really enjoyed that. It was awesome. Went way longer than I thought, but that's good. That's good. That's no problem at all. That's awesome. I think we you hit on so many notes about Victoria and what's going on here and the challenges and the struggles and the triumphs and the positive about it as well, which I think is really super valuable to a lot of people,
Look,
especially
it's a
for all
great
the
place.
inspiring, musicians and artists and everyone trying to do all these sorts of creative things.
It's a great place. It's like it's just a place to have a sense of balance and to there had to be someone that have lived some experiences and can uh, be willing to help the community. It's all about helping the community, and things start making sense.
Hmm.
Come to Victoria to to have like your steps all well planned and apply them, and wait for like this magic thing.
Hmm.
It's just a ongoing work, help the community, a trial error, and in the way you find the new solutions,
Hmm.
and but not for the straightforward results. So whoever can manage that can be here and feel in balance,
Hmm.
because it's a place to help to support all the industry that is not set up,
Yeah.
to help build it, to
Yeah.
not just
Exactly.
complain
Hmm.
why.
It feels like there's a lot of opportunities here still.
It's just helping the process of building the things that are missing.
Yeah.
And I feel that that's a beautiful mission,
Hmm.
and I know a lot of musicians that want to do it.
Hmm.
A lot of people like you, a lot of people in the venues and
Hmm.
in the community centers, all trying it.
Yeah.
So that's very inspiring.
Hmm. Amazing. Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll keep it there. Yeah. Awesome.